Aww.
Alright, so we are here with another video. And this time, this is going to be about that video that Zeta made about, Spinosaurus. And why the reason I'm making a video on that, because I think some things he say in that video is just incorrect. So I just want to just talk about it and just tell you the things he got wrong in that video. So, yeah.
We're going to be going over the feats, and then we're going to be going over the statements for Spinosaurus that are said outside of the movies and within the movies. The first feat for Spinosaurus is him breaking this very big, large fence or whatever, but people try to argue that this feat scales incredibly high, or that this is one of the biggest feats within the entire Jurassic Park verse. But there's two main components that Spinosaurus fans overlook about this feat that they don't want to do because they do the most bare minimum research and don't actually do anything else. So the first issue is one, the model of the fence was not even prioritized to be a form of protection via sheer size or mass, but rather just prioritizing electricity. And fences that are constructed under this model do not demand as much mass or weight as other fences that go through the other model of demanding mass and weight as a means of protection. And secondly, the fences are way weaker than they actually are because they are rusted specifically for 2 whole years.
Now, I do kind of agree with this, but I do have to disagree with one thing, and that is this feat being low tier. Because let's be honest, if we take any medium carnivore or out of prime large carnivore, they're not going to be able to break through this, or they will just take them a couple of tries to break through it.
The next feat for Spino occurs in his fight with the Bull T-Rex, where he successfully manages to kill him. People try to argue that this means Spino scales above Bull, but this is factually incorrect for many reasons. The only reason he was even able to kill Bull in the first place was because of the Spino's bite, which is described to be near inescapable. And since that this bite is described to be near inescapable, it allowed the Spino to be able to neck snap since Bull could not resist the bite. When it comes to raw physicals, Bull is stronger than Spino. If you slow down the fight, especially in more high-quality videos to at least 0.5 times speed, you would see that Bull manages to gain the physical advantage repeatedly on multiple occasions. The first point is where we see Bull able to immediately drag down Spino with his jaw and then push him around the entire jungle. During the biting scene, the Spino attempts to escape Bull's bite force, to which he fails and then tries a second time using his upper body force in order to escape. Doing so resulted in Spino having the necessity to shift to a quadrupedal position as opposed to a bipedal position, making him go off balance from his initial bipedal position. After this event, the bull...
What? Okay, a lot of things to talk about right here. Okay, first, did you just say Bull was stronger? Okay, let's disprove this. Okay, so just because Spinosaurus was getting dragged around by Bull doesn't mean he's actually weaker than Bull. Why the reason Spinosaurus was getting overwhelmed by Bull a little bit is because Bull's speed and battle intelligence. And this is even more proven because in the fight you just shown, Bull got most of the hits off and did 0 damage. And also by using your own clip you shown, Spinosaurus was strong enough to hold Bull in place with raw arm strength. But if you still for some reason don't believe me, when we see both of them was trying to escape each other's grasp, we can see who is clearly stronger. When we see Spino was trying to escape Bull's grasp, he was easily able to do that. But when we see Bull trying to escape the grasp of Spinosaurus, literally all he could do is roar helplessly while Bull is getting held in place by Spinosaurus.
To a physical clash. Bull stacks a combo on this and unleashes a kick that pushes Spino's entire upper body. And the third part is the worst of them all because Bull gives Spino a headbutt to which Spino has literally 0 resistance to and gets flinged by the headbutt. And this gets even worse when you consider that Spino's entire side was exposed and that did not do shit to resist the hit.
Bro, what? What? It did do nothing to resist the hit? What are we talking about?
Bull ultimately did no damage to Spino, so therefore he doesn't scale to him or some shit. This is empirically false because the Spino attempted to escape Bull's bite force and failed to do so. If the bite didn't scale to Spino, then the Spino would easily be able to leave, and we know that he failed. More evidence suggesting that Bull scales to Spino in context of bite force is where Universal Studios YouTube themselves states that the bite of a T-Rex is strong enough to crush the toughest of hide and shatter bones, and they use examples of this being the case, which also includes Bull grabbing Spino's neck with his jaw. Given these two pieces of data, it's consistent that Spino cannot casually tank Rex bites, and that these bites actually hold significant damage to his durability. Also, Bull does in fact have the capacity to kill Spino, so he does scale to him. This is confirmed by the behind the scenes for Jurassic Park 3. So I don't want anyone saying some bullshit like his physicals do no damage to Spino. Yes, they do, because then that would contradict the narrative intent. Going off
Of course he used statements that does not make no sense to the movie. Zeta, I have a question. If that was the intent of that, if that was the intent of that, then why Spinosaurus in the movie took no damage at all? Just curious.
Now let's go on to statements. Oh boy, there's a lot of this shit in here, especially made by Spino fans. They are statement merchants. People try to argue that Spino is stated to be the T-Rex killer, so therefore he can solo any T-Rex. The problem with this argument is that being a T-Rex killer doesn't necessarily validate that you can solo any T-Rex. There is no valid inference rule that justifies this necessity being the case. A T-Rex killer can also just mean someone or an individual that has killed a T-Rex, which is consistent with the movie.
Okay, you know what? I see what he's saying here. But there is one problem though. How did he know to go for the neck? Would that mean he have killed a T-Rex before? In fact, he even knows how to, kill one? Well, that would I would have said if there was not a counter argument to this. You could just say that he probably used that move on more smaller dinosaurs like medium ones while he was younger and weaker back then. So yeah, you know what? I agree with Zeta here. Alright, I think I'm just gonna end the video right here because I don't want this video to be too long. And also, before I end this, yo, Zeta, if you're watching this, I have no personal beef with you. I actually don't. So yeah, I hope you know that.